All right. Let's see if that's a decent enough angle. Cool. Awesome. Not mad about that. What's up, everybody? All right. We've got a viewer hopping on. Beautiful. We're going to get started here shortly. My apologies about the delay. Had some technical difficulties, but we're up and running now. Only thing you're going to need today, towel, right? You're going to be folding it long ways, so it's long, skinny as possible. If you have like an old karate belt, that would work better. You can also use a belt provided it's long enough. We're going to be doing some specific stretches with this today. But to start, we're going to get working from the neck down. I know everybody's been stuck at home watching TV, watching computer screens, so hopefully you are all tuned in, ready to stretch. So standing hip width apart, toes pointed out slightly. Going to be reaching down through your fingertips, palms facing forward, right? From here, we're going to go chin to chest and do nice circles. Take your time here. Go nice and slow, no rush. The more time you take finishing these circles, the better. Remember, you're actively trying to depress your shoulders or take your armpit and put it into your pockets, right? So I don't want you up here shrugged tight. I want you down, shoulders pulled away from the ears. So again, focusing on those circles. If your neck is super tight, you might even feel this run all the way down and into the shoulder. Excellent. Take your time here. We're going to do two more. It's the start of number one. And number two. Excellent. When your chin gets to your chest, I'm going to have you reverse that direction. Go right ear to right shoulder, then left ear to left shoulder, back to chin to chest. So take your time here. Again, no rush. Pay attention to where you're tight. For me specifically, it's in this region. I might bounce back and forth, go backwards, forwards in this spot, just to show a little more love to that spot that I need to work on right now. Excellent. Again, take your time. No rushing. We're going to do one more circle. And back down. Excellent, excellent. Shake the arms out a little bit. Now, from this position, right, you're going to shrug all the way up. From here, you're going to pull the shoulders back, down, armpits into the pocket, and then reach all the way forward, and then we're going back into our up position. So you're doing nice shrugging circles here with your shoulders. Again, take your time. Thank you. I think I just saw a like pop through. I appreciate that. Take your time here. Go nice and slow. Just see if you are creaky in any of these positions. Going nice and slow. Just trying to pump some blood into the traps. Get them to relax a little bit when we pull them down and away. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're going to do one more circle. When you get to the top, we're going to reverse the direction. So now we're at the top. You're going to come forward, then pull all the way down towards the floor. Pinch the shoulder blades. Pull the traps and shoulders back up. So now we're moving towards the front of the body. Again, take your time here. You're going to have some movement with your arms, right? I'd rather your arms be loosey-goosey instead of rigid moving through this, right? So go slow. You're going to end up bending your elbows a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of sway in your arms. Nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what we're looking for. Excellent. We're going to do one more, all the way to the bottom. Very good. Shake it out. Now, we're going to switch the direction. One shoulder's going to go forwards, other shoulder's going to go backwards. We want to sync this up so that way they're moving at the same time, right? So the starting position, you're going to pull one shoulder up, pull the other one down, right? Again, going to be some weird stuff happening with this arm. That's totally fine. So when we're in this position, we're going to start going forward, right? So you've pulled up. You're going to push forward. As the left shoulder pulls forward, the right shoulder pulls back. Then you will end with the right shoulder up in the front. You're going to do these nice swimming motions with the shoulder. Beautiful. You want equal and opposite movement here between your left and right side. You'll find that it's quite difficult. You're looking to get one in the front while one's in the back, then transition right in here. Very good. Take your time here. Try to focus on quality of movement. And we're going to switch directions. Good. So pulling back here. Exactly. Again, making sure that as one's up, the other's down, and as one's forward, the other is back. Very good. Taking your time. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, shake that out. Okay, we're going to move to the ground. A lot of this day is going to be based around hips, hamstrings, a little bit of glute work, right? We're trying to stretch all this out because I know a lot of us have been sitting and moving a little bit less than we're used to moving. So I'm going to start with the entry-level position. Oh, you guys probably hear my kitty. She's a chatty one, so you're going to hear her throughout the entire session, I'm sure. Okay, calm down. Now, from here, you're going to go into the beginning position for this stretch. I've got the table in front of me. It does help if you have something to support yourself on. So from here, you're going to go into this 90-90 position, right? You've got 90 degrees with that front leg, 90 degrees with that back leg. Now, from here, what I don't want to see is your butt shooting out, right? You want to tuck butt, not duck butt, tuck butt. The way you do that is by squeezing the glute of the side that is down. If you're super tight in this position, you're already going to be feeling a stretch on the front side of the hip right here, right? This outside front region. That's exactly what you're looking for, right? You want to dig into that stretch. What you don't want to do is come here and kick back just so slightly that you're out of that stretch position, right? So we're going to hang right on this position, right? The idea is to try to squeeze that glute and sink forward without your back compensating, right? If you're feeling this motion going on, it's not what I'm looking for, right? You're going to come up here, abs tight, and sink forward as much as you can, trying to get that leg behind you. You do not want to lose tension on this glute. That is variation number one. If you know that you have tight hip flexors, I'm going to have you go straight into that variation. For the rest of us, you're going to need a wall nearby, and ideally a mat placed on the floor. Now, from this position, you're going to go down onto all fours, right? You're on your knees, you're on your toes, and your hands are on the ground. I'm going to start with my left leg. So I'm going to take my left knee, and I'm going to push it all the way up to the wall, and my toes are laces down or knuckles down, right, onto the actual wall. Again, my knee is completely touching here. If you have to, if you're prone to having some knee issues in positions like this, you can kick it forward like an inch or two, right? I'm not looking to have half a foot to a full foot in between your knee and the wall. Ideally, you'll be choked all the way up against the wall. Now, from here, you're going to kick your opposite leg up. Should be relatively in line with your hands. Now, you can go palms down, you can go knuckles down. The choice is yours. This is the intermediate position for the hip flexor stretch, right? If you go online, go onto YouTube, find a page called The Ready State. Dr. Kelly Starrett talks about this, and he calls it the couch stretch. You could do this on your couch, you could do it on a chair, you've got plenty of options available to you. Now, this is the exact same concept as the previous stretch that I was talking about. You want to be able to squeeze your glutes and feel that stretch come in on the front of the hips. For myself, this is definitely enough right here. Now, you don't want to move outside, right? Notice how my foot gets covered up by my hip. You don't want that to happen. For me, that pulls me right out of the pain cave. I don't feel any stretch going on right here whatsoever. The point of this is to feel the stretch on the front side of that hip. Oh, Kitty's doing a little stretching with us too. Good. So you should be focusing on trying to squeeze that glute. Now, like I said, you don't want to move this way, right? Moving towards the side of the leg that is up, but you can move to the outside, right? Moving to the side of the support leg, right? That is going to intensify the stretch quite a bit. So we're just going to hang out here for about another 60 seconds or so. Enjoy it. relax in this stretched position. This feels very good. The muscles that we're hitting right now are the iliopsoas combo of muscles, right? The psoas gets tight and it attaches at our lumbar spine, which is your low back, right? That means that when this muscle is tight and you try to stand, it can start yanking on your low back, causing some low back pain. So a lot of us who don't have an acute injury, like for example, like a slipped or herniated disc in our low back, can benefit from this type of stretch. A lot of people sit all day, these muscles get tight, we know what happens, right? You'll know by kicking up into this position whether or not you need it or not. So I can already start to feel a little bit of relaxation occurring, and I can tell I'm sinking a little deeper into the stretch, a little deeper into the stretch. Suddenly, my glute function is returning. I'm focused on this right here, trying to squeeze that glute. Again, if you can squeeze it and the tightness is there, that's very good. Good for you. The rest of us are jealous. From there, if you want to take this to the next level, which you totally can, right? You might want to have a support. Again, I have my table right here coming up onto this lead leg, hand right here, one hand is on the table. Now you're getting more into your rectus femoris, right? This muscle attaches at the top of the hip and below the knee. So you're gonna feel this go from up almost onto your torso, way down your leg into your knee, if you need it. Otherwise, if you don't, and you're just hanging out in that position, just enjoy it. It's a nice stretch. It does feel very good. Still focusing on trying to squeeze the glute of the side of the leg that is up. So for me right now, it is my left. I'm gonna come down, drop my lead leg, pull that leg away from the wall, and now switch to the other side. Again, you're going basically laces down. If you don't have shoes on, don't blame you. We're all stuck at home. So you're gonna be going toes down or the top of your foot down. And then from here, you're planting with both hands, kicking up with now my left leg. This will be my lead leg. Again, you do not want to shoot your hips to the side of the leg that is on the wall. You want to, if anything, go to the opposite side, right? And just hang out right here. Again, working in deeply to that other side. Pay attention. See if you're tighter on one side than the other. I can tell you just from me kicking up right now, I was significantly tighter on my left side. This side is a little bit easier for me. I already have some glute contraction that I'm able to access. The goal here is to just relax. I know this can be a relatively painful position to be in. When you're in here, if you have to, pull yourself back. You don't need to be trying to reach forward, right? You can pull yourself back, still going into that stretch though. You really want to focus on a 7 out of 10 on the pain scale. You don't need to be digging in too deeply, but you do need to be digging in to a certain degree, which is exactly what we're looking for. In terms of breathing here, it's very easy to get lost, not really know how to control that breath. So just focus on your in through the nose, out through the mouth. So in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And even as I do that, I can feel myself sink deeper into the stretch. All of this is tied in with our breath. That's exactly what we want to do. Focus on that breathing, right? So in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Very good. And again, hanging out here as long as we need to. Now you can come back up if you have the flexibility and mobility to do so. Feeling that stretch now in that rectus femoris, again, from just above the hip all the way down into the knee. So we're just going to hang out here. 3 more breaths. And one last one. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Dropping that lead foot, coming away from the wall, and I'm going to stand back up. Again, I want to show you what we're doing here. Remember, for those of you who are just now tuning in, you're going to want to grab a towel, right? You can do this with you could do this with a sheet, honestly. You could do this with like an old belt that you may have, especially those cloth belts, right? That's going to be the best case scenario, but we all have towels, so I figured this would be the easiest option, right? This works. You want to fold it long ways, so that way it's nice and thin, and you have something to grab onto. You could even double it over one more, if you so choose. Now, from this position, we're going to be lying onto our backs. So you're going to go back down, like so. Feet are up in the air. You're going to wrap the towel around your toes. From this position, lie down. Other leg is straightened out or slightly bent. I do prefer the straight route. You want to drive that knee straight and use this towel to pull the toes down, right? And we're just gonna hang in this position. You can get a little side-to-side movement, but you don't wanna go too much. The next variation, we're gonna be dropping this all the way down to the left side. So again, I'm working on my left foot. This is going to go into the left side. You'll wanna hold with two hands here, actively trying to straighten your leg at the knee, and using the towel to pull down on your foot at the toe. You do not want to do this in the midfoot. That pressure then will just be driving your hip deeper into the socket. You want to go towards the toes so that way you can pull your foot close to your face as much as possible, right? So this is what we're looking for right here. Now I can tell you from my sled workout yesterday that I am extremely tight right here, for sure, without a doubt. So hang out here, enjoy that pull. We're going to be here for about 1 more minute. So just focus, breathe. Again, using the towel, belt, cloth belt, leather belt, doesn't really matter, whatever you've got available to you. You could use a sheet. Try to find some relaxation in this position. When you are ready, from here, you can open up, dropping that leg to the ground, and you're going to feel that stretch go deep, deep into your hamstrings and into your adductors, which is the group of muscles right at your groin, right? So you might feel this deep, deep into your pelvic bone. Again, it's exactly what we're looking for. If you're not a fan of that position, just go back to our starting position, right? Get out of here, kitty cat. Now, from here, again, we're going to be focusing on this dropped position right here. So, hanging out, chilling with your pets on the floor. Ain't that right? Very good, very good. If you have to grip, please do, or re-grip rather. Pulling back gives you an idea right here. Notice my heels poking out. It's exactly what you're looking for. Kind of come back up into that hamstring stretch one more time. And kick up with that opposite foot. Other leg goes down. Relax the grip if you need to. And pull back on that leg. I try to get in a frame for you all. Excellent. Pulling back right here. Enjoy that stretch. Remember, you're actively trying to pull onto the toes, and you don't want to be pulling towards the side of the big toe too much, right? You want to make sure that you're pulling towards the pinky, right? Flattening out the foot, getting that pressure way up into the hamstring. I even feel this coming through behind the knee. It's exactly what we want. Very good. Just hanging out right here. Hope everybody's managing to stay sane during these crazy times. For those of us stuck at home, this is a great opportunity to double down on the things that we're passionate about, get some reading done, do some studying, learn more about your craft and your art. Good, now from here, opening up nice and wide, going into this adductor group of muscles, right? Switching the line of pull. You still want your heel poking out, right? And we're focused on pulling those toes back but this time doing it with an open hip position. Some of you are going to find that this open hip position is much more difficult for you than the hamstrings. Others are going to find that this open hip position feels a lot better than the hamstrings. Just depends on you, your body, and where you're tight. For example, I know for me, I can hang out here a lot longer than I can in the other positions. No problem with that. Excellent. I'm going to be here for about 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Oh, excellent. Come on up. That feels very nice. Very good. All right. We're going to go back into our seated position, focusing on our groundwork today. So we're going to go into this butterfly stretch. A lot of us know this stretch, but not a lot of people do it often. Some of you are going to be tight up here. Others are going to be able to drop down way low, right? So let me see if I can get a better view for you. There we go. So we're looking to be right here in this position. If possible, drop those knees low, get those heels as close to your pelvis as possible, and just hang right here. No need to actively push the knees down, but if you can drive them down using your own musculature, that's what we're looking for. Try to not let the feet open up. Keep them nice and closed. If you have to, reinforce with your hands. Good posture, and as you can, drop that chest. Feel that stretch on the inside of the hip. Some of you might feel like you're getting a pinching sensation, right? We'll call that impingement of the hip. It means that the musculature of the hip is being pinched by the bony structures of the hip, right? In between your pelvis and your femur. From here, what you can do, should you notice that you're getting that deep pinch on the front side of your hip, you can kick those legs out a little bit, give you a little bit more room to rotate your pelvis under. Exactly, so hanging out here just for some added view, right? Trying to drop down as low as possible. You want your back nice and straight. We're leaning forward. If you're getting that pinch, kick the feet forward and then drive back down. Excellent. Hanging out right in here. Now, things you can do from this position, just so that way you're not hanging out in only the butterfly stretch, is come into the butterfly stretch, lean to the right, lean to the left. You can even lean to the left, rotate to the right, lean to the right, come around, under, and rotate to the left. Excellent. Very good. Definitely feels good to do this. In jiu-jitsu, we would do this stretch all the time, especially in the system that I was training. We were always hanging out right here. I don't do it as much as I should, but it definitely feels nice to loosen the hips. As you pull to one side, you might even notice that you're starting to get a little bit of a stretch going on in your back, in your quadratus lumborum. Exactly. Moving over to the other side. Enjoying that stretch. Excellent. Excellent. Beautiful. Come up out of that stretch. Pull in. Straighten the legs. Enjoy that position. Excellent. Now, from here, we're going to get into a pigeon pose-esque stretch, right? So you're going to come back up into this position, right? Back knees all the way down to the ground. Hands are inside. You're going to walk this foot all the way over to the inside until that knee comes down. Now, from this position, you will use your free hand to staple it to your foot, so your foot doesn't want to start pulling out, right? So stapling this down. If this position is hard for you and you can't get your foot perpendicular to the front of your mat, or parallel rather, you could pull this knee in and then hit this position from right here, right? So that way you've got your hamstrings and your calves completely touching. Ideally, you'll have a little bit more space in between there to drop down. Now, in this position, you're going to want to drop that chest down as low as you comfortably can, and then come back up out of it if you need to, right? Just trying to coax out a little more range of motion as possible, right? You'll see today I'm super tight. Body doesn't want to listen. It is hard for me to drop all the way down. I'm just gonna hang out right here. No need for me to push past what my body's capabilities are today. Even if you're normally capable of getting into the stretch with no problem, some days are just gonna feel better than others. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. With stretching, you can't force it. You just gotta relax, calm down a little bit. Try to find the calm in the position. Ooh, I can already feel myself relaxing. It feels nice. Good. Oh, looks like we've got quite a few people tuned in. I'm happy to see that. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you're doing well today. Very good. From here, you're gonna swivel that leg back in, and we're going to switch. So again, from here, you're driving that back leg back, hands are planted, you're bringing that opposite leg up, and now you're going to walk it in, transition your hand to the outside, and drop that leg down. This free hand comes in, staples near the foot. This other hand comes out right by the knee. Very good. Trying to just sink down, get those hips close to the ground as much as possible. Just hanging out in this position. Again, trying to find comfort in something that is a bit uncomfortable. Good. Focus on the breath. I'm way tighter on this side, way tighter. That's no news. It's been like that for years. Always trying to fix it. But today, I'm feeling it. Good. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Ooh, just from that couple of breaths right there, I can feel myself sinking a little deeper. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. This is Jazzy, everybody. She's a chatty cat. One more breath here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Swivel that leg around. Excellent. Come back up. Gives your hips a second. Let them relax. This last position we are going to do, oh, sorry, kitty, is called the happy baby pose, right? So you're lying on your back, kicking the legs up, grabbing outside edge of the feet, pulling the legs down, trying to keep that back nice and flat against the floor. You'll use your elbows to drive your knees out, right? You don't want them creeping in right here. Keep the elbows on the inside, pulling back. It's exactly what you're looking for. You can keep those abs engaged, keeping your head forward, or you can lie back. The choice is yours. I guess I have no choice right now because I've got this kitty cat on my chest. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, that feels great. Coming in forward, pulling the knees tight to the chest. Feel that stretch on the glutes. From this position, you've got a couple of options. You could bring your leg to the front, right, using your knee as a support system. Hand comes up under the wrist. Other hand comes behind the knee. Not on the front of the knee, right? Behind the knee for protection. And then you pull forward. You do not want your ankle to beat the knee in this position. So always pull the knee forward first. This is only a dangerous spot if you start driving this ankle close forwards towards your face. So again, trying to avoid that. So pulling in from right here, you'll kick back out, switch, right ankle goes on top of left knee, pulling forward, right hand goes right behind that right knee, left hand goes inside towards that ankle, and you start pulling back. This position in jiu-jitsu, fun enough, is called rubber guard. It's from the 10th planet system of jiu-jitsu, but it's also a very nice stretch on top of it. Can't complain about that. So anyways, pulling in, staying nice and tight, trying to relax. Again, do not let that ankle beat that knee. The knee should always be closer to you than this ankle. So again, knee gets first level of support, ankle gets second level of support. You're gonna feel that stretch all down the back side of your leg, even on the front side of the hip. Just depends where you need it. Excellent. From here, straighten out, back to seated, and standing. Excellent. Thank you all very much for joining me today. I appreciate it. Tune in to the Pulse Instagram, Pulse Facebook for other live classes. I know Tracy has been busting ass and has put quite a program together for all of us while we are at home. Hi, Christina. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope to see you all in person in the actual stretch class sooner than later. Stay sane during these crazy times. Love you all. Catch you later.